Hi, this is Trevor Lund of RevTrev.com, and today is uh, this week's edition of Ministry Coaching with RevTrev. And you know what? I have all kinds of questions and answers that people have been asking me, and I've got them all written up and ready to go. And as people have been signing up for this course, I've asked them to send me their question about ministry as well, and this one popped out at me, and I thought, you know what, I better just jump the queue on it all, and I better get to it right away. So, I had a friend in, I think he's from Zimbabwe. Let me just double check here. I will get his information right here. This is Morgan, and I do know where he's from. Oh, wait a minute. He is from Zimbabwe. I've got this nice little feature that people send me emails, and I get all of your social media things come up right beside me. So I've invited him on Facebook. We're connected on LinkedIn, and we can do all of those things. You know what? I'll show you that in some video maybe in the future, because it's a great way to connect with people doing ministry. Anyway, Morgan asked the question. He's got a call of God on his life to be in ministry in 2008, and he asks, he doesn't really know the next step. Like, what's he to do? Is he supposed to go to Bible college? What is he supposed to do? And you know what? That is a great question, because I do see a lot of people where you feel a call of God on your life, and it's what do you do next? And I can already see this video getting a lot larger than I thought it was. So let's start with the basics here. What is a call of God on our lives? When we're called into ministry, there's three calls that actually come. And the first call, it can be anything from an audible voice of God to a deep knowing in your spirit, just something that's always been there. People have come up to you and said, you should be a pastor, you should be in ministry, or you should be doing this, or you should be doing that. And there's just that sense that it's something you've always wanted to do. It's something that it's been on your heart, or it could be something that you've just hated doing. The thought of it has scared you. Every time someone, when I was a kid, I did a speech in front of our whole town, and somebody came up and to my dad afterwards and said, he's going to make a exemplative. He filled in the exemplative, a beeping pastor someday. And I thought that was hilarious, and I basically responded, well, don't wish that curse on me. Well, God places those things in our lives. So there is that call of God, that's a deep knowing. The second thing that comes with any call is it's a you need to have the gifts to confirm that call, right? God does not call you. I'm not talking about things you can learn. I'm not talking about skills you can gain. I'm not talking about knowledge you can acquire. I'm talking about yeah, you got to have the gifts, right? Like, if you are called into singing, you need to have a voice to sing, right? If you're called, yeah, into an administrative ministry, you need to have the gift of administration. If you're called to speak, you better at least have those gifts. And so that's the second part to a call. So there's the call of God, which most of us understand as the call of God, like the audible voice, or the deep knowing, or the thing that everyone tells us time and time again, and we just have that sense that that's going to happen, and we can be on any spectrum of that. The second part is we have the gifts to confirm that call. The third part is we have a community that confirms that we're interpreting that we have those gifts. Let me give you an example. We had a lot of people, they're called into ministry. Oh, great. They want to get up there and preach. Yeah, guess what? Well, you can learn skills, but sometimes you just don't have it. It's not the preaching that's a skill. It's, do you like people? Can you interact with people? Can you communicate with people? Yeah, maybe it's not pastoral ministry. Maybe it's even an evangelist. Maybe it's a prophet. Maybe there's other ministries out there. Anyway, so that's I want us to be on the same page right away. What is the call of God on your life? What is that specific? What is that vision He's given you? What is that dream He's given you? What is that passion He's given you? What are the gifts that you have? What are the skills you need to acquire? How can you acquire them? And thirdly, do people around you agree with that? has people come around you to tell you, like, you are going to be just an incredible pastor. You should think about being in ministry. Why not? Why are you always treating me like you're the pastor and I'm the person in the pew or whatever? Like, however that's, you have that confirmation. Um, Now this question about Bible college, you need to. I don't know you, so I'm just going to help you try to work through a few situations, a few things to think about. First of all, I do believe that the Holy Spirit teaches us all things. Secondly, personally, I love to study. I've got my BA, I've got an MDiv, I've got, every once in a while I think about doing my MA and PhD, and I just recently had this real temptation to do my DMin with somebody I really would love to be going with. But anyway, um, I just want the DMin because then I can be called the Reverend Doctor, and sometimes that's really fun. Um, what you need to consider is, first of all, what do the people around you expect? I'm talking about your denomination. I'm talking about the people you're going to be ministering to. What do they expect you to have for training? Now, whatever they expect you to have, what I suggest you do is go beyond that expectation. Let me tell you why. The groups that I basically associate with, pastors need to have Bible college training. It's not unexpected, not unheard of that a pastor doesn't have any official training, but they've got the gifts, they've got the calling, they've got the support of the church, and they become a pastor. Like, you don't need that in the groups that I'm associated with. But here's where it comes in handy for me. I was I won't go into too much detail, but I was basically being reprimanded by a pastor who I don't really know, and he doesn't know me very well, and he didn't think I was doing things the way that they should be done, and I was really confused because the way he wanted things done really confused me. I can't think in the ways that he wants me to think. Anyway, don't get into those things. But it's just funny because he was getting kind of upset, and he said, like, what Bible college did you go to? And I'm like, oh, I didn't go to Bible college. And he's like, oh, well, and I said, no, I went to seminary. I got my MDiv. And he's like, oh. And I tell him, yeah, well, I graduated valedictorian, but it was not really a marks thing. We thought I'd have the highest marks, so people voted for me. It turns out I didn't have the highest marks, but I still, so it's not really a big thing that I graduated valedictorian. Um, it only helps to exceed people's expectations, is because you can just, like, that conversation, that whole line of attack against me just fell away, because I do have a deeper understanding of a lot of things than people give me credit for. Then okay, so whatever the expectation is, go beyond it. Number two is, do you have to put off ministry to get your education? Jesus walked with his disciples. He taught them. He sent them out. They came back. They reported. I kind of like that model a whole lot more than just going to a school and being taught to think like they think and taught to do what they do, which isn't much except to teach people to think like they think and do what they do, which isn't much but to teach people how to think how they think and to do what they do. You get what I'm saying? I don't want to ride down any kind of denomination. I'm not kind of trying to ride down anything that's going on, but I do find a lot of problems with being taught in formal education just to think like other people. That being said, I have met far too many pastors who don't have a basic understanding of exegesis or hermeneutics. And for me, it's not time for me to explain all those things, but you need to know what the Bible said to the first people it heard it was for, and how it speaks to us today. You need to have a clear understanding of that, because when you don't, that's when all kinds of cults get started. That's when all kinds of problems start up. That being said, you can know how to exegete a passage properly and still cause division, still cause trouble, still cause cults to emerge. And so what I'm trying to get to in all of this, when do you start a ministry? Learn to hear from God. Learn to hear from God. Take time to seek Him. Take time to, like, fasting and praying is a good thing. Seek the wisdom of wise counselors. I'd really strongly suggest you find a mentor, somebody who's been in the ministry that you want to do, that has a similar, they don't even have to have a similar vision, but they've done the work that you want to do. Get to know them. Get them to pour into your life. Get them to speak into you. If listen to what they say. You know, like if you need to get a better understanding of the basis of the Bible and how church needs to be run, yeah, get to Bible college. If you've got a strong foundation, if you've got people over you who can come in and tell you, listen, you're out of whack, you're doing things the wrong way, well, guess what? You, you're in a safe place. If you can listen to the Spirit and you can listen to godly men and women, you know, my question for people is, why put off what God has told you to do? You know, why? Is there a way? Is there a way you can do the ministry that God wants you to do and still get the training that you need to do it well? Those are my thoughts. Do you need a Bible college education or seminary education to do the ministry God's called you to? It depends on who you're ministering to. It depends on how much you need to develop yourself. That's all I guess I need to say on that. Yeah, so keep on your questions coming in. Like I said, I've got 20 or 30 weeks to do if no one contacts me. But with the rate that people are contacting me, I may have to do these more than once a week and just send you a link once a week to say, oh, here's the 6 or 12 questions I've been asked. Anyway, love doing it. I'm Trevor Lund, or RevTrev.com. This is, what is this called? Ministry Coaching with Rev Trev from ExpectancyMinistries.com. God bless.